What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of Gaming with the Broscast, episode 226. My name is Harrison, and I'm joined by my brother Nick. As always, Nick, how you doing, buddy?
I'm doing good, man. I'm doing great. What a
Good.
glorious Monday evening we're having here.
A glorious Monday. Yes,
Just a great Monday.
Yeah, it was a good week. We got to come down on the weekend this weekend or last weekend, and eat some dinner together on Friday. And then we went to my wife and I went to our local. It's kind of like I mean, I've never been to a Comic-Con, but it feels like a small scale Comic-Con for
Right.
those have been. Wife got to meet a couple of celebrities. I'm not. I'm more of like a if I could see him in person, like just over the shoulders over a couple people, I'm good. Like that feels good to me. Um, I
You
don't
don't
need
want to
like
ruin the mirage. Ruin
yeah.
the
I don't. I mean, because like yeah, I don't need to necessarily meet them. I don't need signatures or anything like that. Just being able to visually see them in person and being like
right.
5 or 6 feet away. That's all I
Fine.
need. But people there were like I think the biggest person that was there was Matthew Lillard. Um, and I didn't get to see him because his line was so packed. And then he went on break for a couple of hours, and by the time he came back, we were already gone. That was probably the biggest name there. My wife got to meet Pauly Shore, which is obviously isn't a huge a huge person anymore, but so yeah, we had a good time. I got a couple of different collectibles and stuff like that, and yeah, it was definitely a fun time. We might go again next year. We haven't decided, but I don't know if it's going to be a yearly kind of thing. But
I mean,
yeah,
you've gone for the past 3 years,
last
right?
3, yeah, ever since we discovered it, we've gone. So and they had I mean like they had the Avatar cast there for the Netflix show and the anime. So it was
That's
cool
cool.
seeing those people. Those I debated getting an autograph or something like that, but I don't know. I just don't want to spend my time in line for like an hour or more. Like,
That's kind of the problem, right? It's like
yeah.
you either go around do other stuff or you wait in line. You have to really plan ahead. Like
Yeah.
you have to pick. You kind of have to choose
And
your
maybe
battles.
if like I mean, because it's over a 4-day like weekend, like Thursday included. But we only ever go on Saturday, so I just don't want to spend like most of my day in line to
Yeah.
meet some of these people and get their autograph. But maybe if you were there for like a 3-day weekend or something like that, that might be a little bit different story because you could spend most of the day getting standing in line if you wanted to, and then spend the rest of the time, you know, buying stuff at like a vendor or something like that. But
Right.
yeah, Nick, how was your week?
It was good. I mean, it was a good week. It's fun hanging out with you guys and playing some NES World Championship on
Yeah, we'll
Friday
talk about
night.
that here in a second. That was a
Yeah,
lot of fun. I
yeah,
think
that was.
that's where the game shines is with people, with other
I think
people.
so. I think so because yeah, playing it. Well, we'll talk about it, but
Yeah.
I agree. Definitely agree. Um, Saturday didn't do too much. Just kind of like when it was out and about all day,
Yeah.
and then Sunday woke up early and watched the women's street skateboarding
Oh, sweet.
Olympics.
Yeah.
Um, that was really good, and then this morning woke up and watched the men's championship. Man, US was like this close to winning it. They had 2 people out of 8. At the end of it, it was 8 people left. They had 2 people at the number 1 and number 2 spots, and a guy from Japan, Yudo. He's amazing, probably one of the best skateboarders in the world. He comes out with his last trick and just like blows it out, and they won it. So a little disappointing considering they were so close. The US was
Yeah.
so close to winning, but
At least it's fun to watch.
yeah, regardless, super fun to watch. Like both the men and women's was super fun. I think for the women's, everyone was under the age of 20. They were
Okay.
all like
Wow.
very young, which was super impressive.
Yeah. That's cool.
Yeah. Yeah, did that did that this weekend and watched a ton of Below Deck on Sunday. I think we probably watched like 7 or 8 episodes. It's one of the I mean, it's one of those like, you know, trash TV shows.
Or on TV shows, do something
Yeah, kind of,
while you're
yeah,
watching, and yeah.
yeah. But
Yeah.
yes, yeah, good weekend.
Cool. Well, we're gonna talk about some games here in a second. We're probably gonna end the show with obviously with the Xbox 360 store shutting down. I think today was the final day.
Yeah,
Um,
I think shut down today.
so yeah, we'll probably talk about some of our favorite memories of the Xbox 360, favorite games, something like that. And those that are in the chat, if we since in honor of Deadpool and Wolverine, if you have any favorite co-op games, let us know that as well. I did, Nick, you haven't not seen Wolverine, right?
No.
Okay. I did see it. I think I'm not gonna spoil anything about the movie. Although if you haven't seen it, you've probably seen some sort of spoilers if you're online at all. But I thought the movie was fantastic. Again, Nick, we had talked about it. I don't think it's like necessarily the return of MCU because it doesn't really
Like move anything forward?
progress of anything currently in the MCU, but it does take some stuff from the MCU since Deadpool is now considered like canon in that, which is cool. But it's more of like a love letter to all of the Fox movies and stuff like that growing up, like starting out with like the original like the X-Men that first came out, when Hugh Jackman was a part of that.
Mhm.
And then and all those kind of Marvel movies. So I think it's a really great love letter and kind of like a goodbye to those movies. And then it's going to be full steam ahead for MCU, and obviously with the announcement this week of Robert Downey Jr. coming back as
Yep.
Doctor Doom was pretty cool. I know some people are skeptical. Some people are like, do they really need to bring back Robert Downey Jr.? But I think in terms of like the story, I think they could make sense. And yeah, I think the MCU is kind of obviously peaked with Endgame, and it's kind of been kind
Been
of
pretty mid ever
lackluster,
since.
pretty mid. Too many TV shows, in my opinion.
Yep.
She-Hulk was probably the worst out of all of them. That show was just terrible. Um, but with the new Captain America come out this year, that looks great. And then obviously Deadpool and Wolverine was just a fun movie. I've seen some people like IGN writing articles and stuff about like it's just being super nitpicky, and I don't know, man. Like
Mhm.
if you just go into it enjoying it, like I think even the cameos that they have in the movie, I think are all excellent. So I think
Yeah,
I think
like,
it's an enjoyable experience. I'm not gonna sit here and nitpick a superhero movie.
probably not
Like,
worth it's not worth tearing apart, right? It's like
yeah,
you go in for the fun. I mean, it's kinda like the Twisters movie, like, you don't go in expecting, your life to be changed when you walked out of the movie. You expect
it's a
it's a
fun
summer popcorn movie.
popcorn,
Yeah.
yeah, summer popcorn movie that I think there's something there for everybody. I think it's over the top action. It's hilarious. Obviously breaks the fourth wall. I mean, that's just Deadpool's character. Like it's yeah, like every scene is just funny. I think it's a great film.
Nice.
But I'm also like not super critical of films. Like I just go to enjoy it. I mean, literally everybody's a critic when there's like the old Dane Cook skit. Whenever you're in the previews and you're like, babe, that looks really good, and they're like, that looks like trash. Like
I'm not
it's
seeing that.
whatever. Yeah, I'm not seeing that. And that's okay.
Ba-na-na-na-na-na-na.
But Nick, let's dive into what we've been playing. Tell me about Cyberpunk and why you decided to get back into it all this
Alright,
time later.
I started by getting back into The Witcher 3 because
Okay.
I never played Blood and Wine, and coming off of, Shadow of the Erdtree, I mean, we had talked about it, but, like, talked about, like, other great DLCs, and I
Yes.
realized I hadn't played that one. I had played Hearts of Stone, and I hadn't touched Blood of Wine, so I picked it up on my Switch, which I had played through, like, the main game and Heart of Stone on, and the game looks really rough on there, more so than it did back in, 2019 when the game came out on Switch where,
Yeah.
it was more acceptable for a game to look how it did. It's just, like, super muddy. And then I realized I think I had, like, the complete edition on the Xbox One, so
Okay.
I put that one in the console and downloaded everything and downloaded all of the DLC and ended up, being able to, like, transfer my save data over to the Series X.
Oh, that's cool. Oh, I forgot it does that from the
Yeah.
Switch.
Yeah,
Yeah,
very
that's
cool.
super
I
cool.
didn't expect it to work, and it didn't at first. I had to like toy around with it a little bit. But yeah, ended up getting it to work and got into it, played a little bit, and just really wasn't feeling it. Like I think I it's hard to jump into a game where you're so late into the game and
Yeah.
there are so many mechanics and you don't know if the weapons you have are underpowered or overpowered. You don't know if you're underleveled.
Yeah, that game has a lot of mechanics and just stuff.
Yeah, a lot of stuff, like
That's why I
all
restarted
motion
it so
stuff.
many times because, like, I go into where I'm at, I'm like, "Man, I don't remember anything. I need to get, like, refamiliarized with the combat and stuff like that because like this different swords do different damage to certain enemies. So yeah, it's tough to jump back into.
Yeah. Yeah, it's really tough to jump back into. So I didn't get super far into the DLC before I decided to switch over to Cyberpunk because I hadn't played that game since probably 2021, like early 2021 when they had like made their first updates to the game, fixing it.
Yeah.
They overhauled the crap out of this game. Like the entire skill tree is completely different from what it was. I think even the abilities you unlock are different to some degree. I mean, I don't know how different they are, but they feel different.
Okay.
Um, Everything's more kind of digestible and easy to understand. It just seems like they did a lot of really great work to the game to make it feel way more immersive. And of course, there's still like the weird NPCs that are walking around and the cars that disappear when they're driving. That kind of
Oh,
stuff
it
kind
still
of takes you out.
happens.
Yeah, like I was on a bridge and I saw like all the cars that were, probably 200 yards ahead of me, they were all disappearing at a certain point. So it's like, okay, I mean, it's a huge world. I can't fault it for that, and it seems like they've made a lot of really good changes. So,
Yeah.
uh,
Hopefully they
but my
learned their
friend,
lesson and don't put out a product like that ever again. 'Cause that was,
yeah,
I mean, 8 years in development or whatever it was. Like that's just kind of
yeah, too
inexcusable.
long.
I mean, obviously they have they had a lot of goodwill going in that with with The Witcher being so damn good, but yeah, you just can't have projects like that.
No, you really can't. Um, but the game's great now. I mean,
Yeah.
I was only 15 hours into the story, and I've probably put another 5 hours into it so far.
Okay.
So I'm getting relatively close to the end. So I can see the end of the tunnel here, and then depending on how I like it at the end of the game, I might pick up Phantom Liberty and play through that
Yeah.
because I heard that's kind of like Blood
One
and
of yeah.
Wine, better than the base game,
Yeah.
which is super exciting because the additional 5 hours that I've played this week and last week has been really fun. Like the story missions have been fun. The side missions have been really great. Uh, I feel like I just didn't when I first played the game. I didn't really know where to go. Like I didn't know where to explore, and
Yeah.
for some reason now I like everything's just clicking a little bit more, and everything's
Yeah,
just a little bit more fun.
I need to try it out again at some point. I always say that, but I never do, but I do need to I need to try it out.
Yeah, I still have a qualm with the main character, like with your character. I still think he sounds kind of like a dick, which fits into the whole cyberpunk world, the
The
aesthetic,
aesthetic, yeah,
whatever.
it's
But
very
that kind of stuff just kind of rubs me the wrong way. I don't know. I don't necessarily like the whole cyberpunk aesthetic.
yeah, I don't either,
Yeah,
to be honest with you.
yeah, it just kind of feels way over the top, and
Yeah.
obviously it's meant to. But I feel like, damn, I would hate to live in a world like this.
Yeah. Sounds
Sounds terrible.
horrible. It's like everyone's
Yeah.
like a dickhead to everybody for no
Yeah, yeah.
reason.
But anyways, yeah, it's been really fun going back to it. Harrison, tell me about Flintlock.
Yeah, so
How's it look?
I've put some more time into it. I finally came across a boss that was actually really challenging, where I had to actually look at my different weaponry and really just had to kind of um, lock in on the mechanics that are in the game so far.
Had to
Um,
walk in.
I feel like I've been using that phrase a lot, but it's such a fun phrase
It's
to
a it's
say.
a
Just
good phrase.
yeah. Um, but yeah, it was a really fun boss fight. But and then after that, I was wondering if like because I had pretty much, I mean, cleared every single portion. I mean, I did up until that point, cleared every single portion of the map, and I was like, man, like this game is either super short, which I think we said last week it might have been like 10 or 11 hours, which
Yeah.
I think I'm right around like 7 or 8. I think I might be around the 8 hour mark. But we did end up like getting on a boat and we moved to a different like island or something like that.
Okay.
Just like a cutscene and then loading screen and then hey we're on a different island. So not super seamless as far as like a normal Dark Souls like, but again we know this is like a very Souls light. It's very not as not like a typical Souls game, but still really enjoying it. I'm enjoying all the side quests. They're story-wise, there's not a lot going on. But the combat is still a lot of fun. The exploration is a lot of fun with the kind of the being able to create shortcuts with the I talked about it before, but there's like a kind of a warp mechanic where you're warping to
Right.
these different points in the map. So like you'll climb a mountain and then instead of like knocking down a ladder or something like that in a normal Souls game, you hit the statue and then it unlocks a point where you can then fly around the map, get back to the
That's
ground a little
cool.
bit easier. So yeah, I'm really enjoying this game. I'll probably play a little bit more tonight, and I'll probably have it done by this week, I'd imagine. Um,
Hell yeah.
but yeah, I'm still enjoying it quite a bit. I think it's
Nice.
worth a shot.
I I will try it out again. I
Not
will.
pointing that towards you. I'm just saying in general, if you're a fan of the Souls genre, I think it's it's a very budget title, like a double A style game. You could definitely see the where it could fall apart. Like it's the frame rate is not super great in some parts. It's definitely not like as polished as like a Souls game you come to expect, but it's no Dark Souls or Elden Ring or Lies of P. It's it's not quite as polished as those, but I think it's still a fun experience.
Yeah, I mean, and I think there's room for those types of games as
Absolutely,
well. Yeah, I
yeah.
mean,
I mean,
the
yeah, yeah. Double A games in general, like I'm just kind of a fan of because they're never super long games, um, and developers don't have to spend hundreds of millions of dollars on them. They can just make a really good game and
right.
it come out and be budget friendly for the consumer and be good. It may not win a million awards, but I think it's a fun experience, especially right now when there's not a lot of stuff coming out.
Right, yeah. I was gonna ask if you're eyeing anything this month because I have a list up
So
here.
we're on the 29th. So yeah,
So
August. I mean,
August,
gosh,
the
I've got to actually got to pull it up here too. Um,
2 games I'm excited for that are coming out next week. SteamWorld Heist 2,
oh yes, yes, yes.
very excited for that one, and Cat Quest 3. I played the
I've
first one and
always
loved it,
yeah.
and then skipped the
I think
second
there's a
one.
demo for the three. Isn't there a demo out right now?
Oh, is there?
I want to say there is. I know there's one for two, which I did play the demo for two, and I did like that game because it was co-op.
It's just super simple, like, you get kind of like instant gratification,
Yeah,
and you level up, like, pretty fast. You're constantly unlocking new weapons. It's like a very, very chill, very simple RPG, easy to 100%. It's very attainable. I really enjoyed Cat Quest 1. That
yeah,
was such a fun game.
yeah. I'm always down for like little small RPGs like that.
Yeah.
There honestly, there's not really anything that I'm super looking forward to. I mean, like the new DLC for Dredge, like I'm definitely gonna play that. Um, I love the Pale Reach, I believe was what the other one was called. Um, and then Black Myth. I am still very curious about this game. I'm still very curious if it's going to be a good game or not. Um, I mean, I've got that on my fantasy critic, so I hope it's good. But we will certainly see. Um,
That's
I think that's
August, right? That you said
yeah, that's
that's,
August.
okay.
Yeah. I mean, that might be really the only big game that I'm looking forward to this whole month.
Wow,
Yeah.
that's fair. I mean, there's not
I
a
mean,
ton coming out
yeah, I mean, like I
this
said,
month.
there's some smaller stuff that I might pick up or check out at least, or maybe wait for you to talk about it and then
Are
go from there. But yeah.
are you gonna check out and sorry, you cut out a little bit when you were talking about the games of August. Are
Oh,
you gonna
okay.
check out Kena Bridge of Spirits?
Is it on Game Pass?
I think it is.
If it's on Game Pass, I'll definitely check it out because that was like the one of the yeah, that was the PS5 exclusive for a while, which that one
Mhm.
did look really cool. It was like a, I don't know, wasn't it like a 3D action platformer kinda game?
Yeah.
Yeah, and I'm all about those, so yeah, I'll check that out, but, yeah, I think this month outside of Black Myth, I'm probably just gonna catch up on some other games I haven't played. Like, I'm still probably gonna play some more, Death Stranding, go get through that a little bit more, see if I'm gonna continue on with that one. Um,
Right.
I did pick up Dark Souls Remastered, so I'm going to
Oh, you
play
did?
that. Yep, I got that one from GameStop.
Nice.
Uh, and then yeah, I'll probably play something else. I'm not sure. So pretty
Nice.
excited about Dark Souls. But Nick, let's talk about Nintendo World Championships because I did bring it over to your house on Friday. And we played like what 3 hours that night, something like that.
At least, I feel like
Yeah, it
we
was like
played the
2 or
crap
3
out of it.
hours straight. I don't think we expected to play it that long, but it's just so addicting.
And the thing is we weren't even doing that much of the co-op or the versus mode, whatever.
Yeah, we did like 4 or 5 rounds, I think, of that.
Yeah. And then it was just really once we got into the weekly championship and
Yeah.
we're, we were just like switching out the controller every 5, 10, 15 attempts and trying to get the best score. And it was so fun. Like this game, like there's something about it playing with other people that just really clicks and it's easy to watch too. I
Yeah.
feel like for viewers, it's just really easy to watch and grasp and understand.
Yeah, because
So it
I mean, it's really I mean, I guess I mean, we talked about it last week for those who don't know. I mean, it's literally just snippets of these old NES games, where, like how fast can you get, it's all speed run, like how
yeah.
fast can you get the first mushroom in Mario, kill this specific enemy in Zelda, and then the fastest, or complete this level in Kid Icarus, which that game freaking sucks. I hate that game. Uh, like I didn't enjoy that portion of it. Um, whenever that one came up when we were doing the hard mode or whatever.
Oh, the
Um,
survivor mode. That's right.
yeah, the survivor mode, which is a lot of fun too.
Yeah.
So my critique of the game last week was no leaderboards outside of the world championship like weekly challenge. And then
Mhm.
and it's cool because I did like 8:30 this morning. I pulled my Switch out and like went through all the rankings and I think for a couple of them, well, no, for the Metroid one where you have to get the morph ball, we were in the top 1%, which is really cool.
We were like the
Um,
500th or something like that.
500, yeah, in
Yeah.
there, and then I think I was even farther up, like, I think I was, like, in the 12th or 13th place for, like, my age group. I'll have to recheck it, but I thought I
Dang.
was, but maybe I'm misremembering, but, um, so, yeah, I like that breakdown, that it breaks down the age and then also the overall, um,
Mhm.
and then actually being able to watch what people did to get that time, so that way when it comes around the next time, if it ever does, I'm assuming it
Yeah, if it
will,
ever does.
then you have a better idea of what to do. But Nick, you tweeted out your reasoning why there's no leaderboards. Let me hear it.
So, if there was a consistent leaderboard and you always knew, the record time, right? The
Yeah,
set time, the number 1 time, then when it comes to the weekly challenges, you're just copying that. You're not
yeah,
you're not putting any of your own creativity into it. Whereas if like you and I, we didn't know what the number 1 time was.
yeah,
We were just trying to get our time down as low as possible. and there is that, that excitement
Yeah.
when you get a new record time. If we knew what time we were shooting for the entire session, it would be less exciting.
In that instance, yeah, I do agree. I don't wanna know what the best time is in, like, the world leaderboard for the for, like, the world championship rankings. Um, but I would like to see at least your friends, like, seeing, like, their even if it's not the world championship stuff, like, if maybe it's just the regular speed run mode, like, just seeing your friends list, like, your friends leaderboards on that, like, or have, like, your top 3 friends or whatever that have the best time, like, um show their record on each level. That I think that could be really cool. But yeah, the overall world champions, yeah, I don't wanna see people. I like to kinda go in blind and just say, "Okay, I think there's no possible way that I can get this time down even more. I think I'm number 1, baby." And
Yeah,
then you get humbled real quick.
and, like, I think, of course, that's my opinion on the world championship, but if you had a leaderboard on the regular speed runs, you could be able to reference those from, like, between the world championships. Like, you could go reference it as like, "Okay, this is the number 1 overall.
Yeah.
That's what I'm working towards." So I think I see Nintendo's reasoning for not including a consistent leaderboard. I would like one with friends. I think that would be
Yeah.
great. Uh,
Like, but even though even separate it from like, it'll show your personal best score for just the speedrun mode, but it won't show your friend's score for the world championship mode. I still think they can make that work,
yeah,
potentially. Um, but I don't know. I think this again, I think this game is a lot of fun. I think it works the best when it's like the smaller, um,
like the
levels.
shorter
The shorter
challenges,
stuff, like, getting the first mushroom or whatever, I think that's where I have the most fun with it because it's literally takes 4 to 5 seconds to complete, and it's
right?
not much of an asking time, but when you have, some that are, you know, 5 minutes or more, like, it can be a little bit, um like, I'm like, the longer levels, like, I'm only ever gonna do a couple of times on the world championship league. I'm just not gonna spend a lot of time on those, so I
Yeah,
prefer, like, the smaller ones, but
good.
I'll see
Yeah,
what I
because the
do.
smaller ones are easier to master. It's easier
Yeah,
to fine tune those, and the longer. Yeah, I mean, for people listening, the for those who have the game and are listening, the final challenge this week is getting from world 1-1 in Mario to the end of the game, and I think you take 2 separate warp pipes to get there,
yeah,
but it's gonna take at the very least, 5 to 10 minutes to
yeah.
do all of that. So I'm only gonna do it once if I do it. I'm not gonna go and, try to master. I mean, what would you even do? Try to master each section of the speed run? Like, I don't know what my personal approach with that would be. I don't think I'd have the patience to, try to do the whole thing without dying or,
Yeah,
like
and
that.
I think that's where it comes into play with, like, obviously, these are different games, but, like, the, uh, the roguelike stuff, like, where I'm like, "Ah, okay, like, that run took, 45 minutes, and now I have to restart it," like, obviously, that's not quite the same, but, like, I still get that same kinda feeling, if I don't get a good time or something like that, so
Right. Yeah, yeah, that's fair. I still think you should play Slay the Spire, but,
I know, I know, I know, I
yeah,
know,
yeah, yeah.
I know.
Always on sale, but,
Always on
whatever.
sale, always on sale.
Always on sale, yeah.
I'll try one day.
I I don't know why you refuse to pick up SteamWorld Dig 2. It's literally a Metroidvania.
It's not a refusal, I don't know, I'm just having a, like, and I know Switch is probably the best way to play it, and I just haven't been super into my Switch lately. Between
That's
all
fair.
the I mean, even since I think since Tears of the Kingdom, like, I was finished with that, like, all the
Felt like a
Mario
swan
stuff
song.
yeah, like, all the Mario stuff hasn't really done it for me. I still haven't beaten Wonder, I still haven't beaten Super Mario RPG, I still haven't beat Paper Mario, um, and I don't know when I'm gonna get back to them, to be honest, so, I don't know.
How far are you in Paper Mario?
I think, like, the 6th world, maybe? Like, I'm getting to that point. I'm close, and I'll finish it up probably this month at some point, but I don't have an itch. to pick up my Switch right now, other than playing, NES, and that's just playing a couple of matches, doing a couple of levels while I'm working or, whatever the case is. Or, if a friend's ever over, I'm, do something like that. But um, yeah, it's yeah, just having a hard time to pick up the Switch right now.
I think I agree. I mean, I did play through all those Mario games, but I picked up Mario versus Donkey Kong, Unicorn Overlord,
Yeah.
and like I don't know, I'm not gravitated towards the games on the Switch
Yeah. And I can
right
honestly
now.
like right now with gaming in general for me, like I'm not
Itching for
itching
anything
like
specific.
outside of, Elden Ring. Like I was obviously itching to play that, but like I'm not like thinking about like, oh yeah, I can't wait to get off work so I can play this game or something like that. Or, um which is fine, you always go through those kind of phases in gaming. There's not gonna
Oh, yeah.
be, an incredible lineup all the time, and sometimes, like, it's good to take a break, but yeah, but I still, like I wanna play something, like, I have nothing to do at night, like, I'm probably gonna play something, like, I'll probably play Flintlock a little bit later on tonight, um, but then I've also kinda gotten back into Fortnite a little bit. I'll talk about it quickly, but they same thing they did with, like, the Avatar Battle Pass, like, the mini version, they did that with Pirates of the Caribbean. So they have, like, Jack Sparrow you can unlock, like, once you
Oh,
buy
cool.
it, and then once you get through it, you get, like, his skeleton version of, Jack Sparrow, and they all have, like, a bunch of, like, missions and stuff, like, you can do that correlate to, the movie and stuff like that, which is really cool. Um, so been getting back into that a little bit. They released the Deadpool skin. I'm like,
Are you gonna do it?
it's $20, so probably not.
Damn.
It's but it comes with, like, other, like, like, it comes with stuff. It's not just the skin, but, like, I'm like, I don't know. Like, I don't mind spending money for skins and stuff like that, but I prefer just if I'm gonna do it, I prefer just to spend it on, like, a battle pass because you get a bunch of stuff, and I feel like it's a little bit worth
Something to
it.
work towards, yeah.
Yeah, something to work toward. Like, I don't wanna just even with this battle pass, like, for the Pirates of the Caribbean, like, I immediately unlocked Jack Sparrow, which is cool. But then, like, you have to work through it to get the other stuff. I think that's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Um, but I mean, I'm not mad that it's there, and I'm not necessarily mad that it's $20 for the skin. Like all companies do that, and Fortnite has been doing that for a long time. And if people want to spend the money, they can spend the money.
Call of Duty does it.
I'm not gonna be mad that you spent $20 on the skin. Like it's your money. Do what you want to do with it. But
Exactly.
for me, I'm like, like, I kind of want to do it, but then it's like I kind of want to get both because like it's Wolverine and Deadpool, and it's like I definitely don't want to spend $40.
Yeah. Then you have
They
to
do
pick,
they do have a bundle discount that's
like,
probably like
38.
35, but still, I'm like, that's that's the cost of most games right now. That's half a cost of a, AAA game. I'm like, I
Right.
think I'm good. But, who knows? But, um, any last thoughts on World Championships?
No, I mean, I think it's a really fun game for $30. I think it's a great price, depending on what exactly you're looking for. If you're into the speed running stuff, if you're into the weekly championship type of stuff, I think this is a great purchase.
Yeah, and I think that's one of those games where, like, if you don't necessarily play it every day, like, it's one of those maybe weekly games where you can just, dive in for, like, a couple hours, like, one specific night or whatever, and just do the weekly challenge, and then
Do your
check in on
weeklies and you
Monday.
can,
Yeah, do your weeklies, and then you're good. I have seen some weird takes where people are upset that it doesn't include the full games, which is interesting. I was like,
Good
Nintendo
NES
has
Online.
literally released all these games like 30 different times. They're all on like NSO, I think. So
Yeah, okay,
it's like
let me pull up an SO real quick.
they're there if you want to play them. Like that's not what this game is. Like it's a speedrunning game. If you don't think it's worth it, the $30, then that's fine. Like, but don't get mad because those games aren't in there or aren't unlockable. That's just not what this thing is.
Were they included in what is it, the NES Remix games?
Oh, I don't know.
I don't know. Yeah, it's kinda weird. That's not what they're selling to you. They're not selling the entire games. They're selling snippets of the games, and no one ever set that expectation, so you can't really fault them for not including it.
Yeah, it's weird. Yeah, I don't know, but hopefully hopefully this thing sold pretty well, um, and we'll get like an SNES one, like that could be really cool, with Super Metroid and like A Link to the Past or something like that. Like that could be cool to do that.
Yeah.
So I think it's cool. I think if you're a Nintendo fan or you just like speed running, because I never really care for speed running. I always like to watch it, when I can. But yeah, this is a lot of fun. I think it's a good time.
Yeah, yeah, no, it's a really good sorry, I'm looking at the NES app now. I mean, Zelda's on there, Super
Oh yeah,
Mario's obviously on there, Kirby, Kid Icarus, if you wanna go play that.
it's all on there. I mean, yeah, you have to pay the
It's
extra
all
money
on
to do
there.
it, but these
Ice
games have
Climber.
have been re-released so many different times and so many different packages and NES remix packages. Like it's
It's
there.
all available.
It's there. Yeah,
It's all
like
there for you.
I mean, would it have been cool if they had included all these games? Sure, but yeah, I don't know why people thought that it was going to be included. And it's just I don't know. Um, well, let's dive into the news here. Well, I guess Nick, before we do that, do you want to talk about some of in order Deadpool and Wolverine coming out? Do you want to talk about some of your favorite co-op games real quick?
Yeah, yeah. Um, I think right off the bat, Borderlands 1
Yeah,
is
that's
a
a good one.
really great co-op game.
Yeah,
It kind of the first of the looter shooters, and I mean, that one just it was so
Chroma
satisfying.
racks and stuff. Like,
Yeah,
oh yeah, it was so
Cromrax.
good.
It
It
was
was
just
good.
so satisfying to get those legendaries and then there's, like, elusive cyan colored weapons,
Yep.
like the rumored ones that, like, oh, no one actually found like,
Oh
it's
yeah,
cool. It was cool. It was a very cool time to be around, like, the gaming space because
yeah,
nothing's concrete, right? It's all rumors and that kind of stuff, and, it's just fun playing together. I think I've probably restarted this game, like, freaking 20 times just,
oh yeah,
doing
yeah.
new classes or
Still
doing
my still
different
my
builds.
favorite Borderlands game.
Oh, yeah, yeah,
And on a side note, I saw the trailer for Borderlands, when we were watching Deadpool. That movie looks like shit. Like, it looks so bad.
it's pretty bad.
Jack
Um,
Black, love Jack Black, should not have voiced Claptrap. He does not sound
no,
good at all.
no, he doesn't.
They should've just got the well, I think well, no, there was, like I think there's a
There's a
lawsuit with the guy.
yeah, there's, like, a whole
So,
falling out.
yeah. So, maybe not with him,
Yeah,
but
unfortunate.
yeah. Anyways, continue, sorry.
No, you're good. I'm just trying to think of other co-op games. Um,
Yeah, I'll throw
It
in a
Takes
couple while
Two.
you're
It
okay,
Takes
yeah,
Two is
yeah.
yeah, that's an all-timer.
Probably
That
one of
one's
the best.
yeah, Stardew Valley,
Yeah.
incredible co-op game. Um,
Brothers: A Tale of Two Sons from the makers of, It Takes Two. I don't know if the remaster version has co-op, I would assume so,
I
but
think
at
it
the
does.
time, the Switch was the only one that had co-op. And my wife and I went through that, and that was a lot of fun. That was like a great game for someone who's not a gamer because I mean, it
Mhm.
takes 3 hours. I think we beat it either in one night or at least in 2 sittings of like an hour or 2 hours each. That's a great, like, beginner co-op game, I think.
Nice.
Gears of War, I mean, I think that's like a
Oh,
staple in the co-op game. Like, that game is incredible. Yeah, that game is great. Halo, all the Halos are great in co-op,
mhm.
um, including Infinite. They finally added that. But yeah, all
Yeah, 2
those
years
all
too
those are
late.
great. Yeah, a little bit.
What's a good co-op game with, like iconic with an iconic duo? I mean, I think Gears is a good one.
Kane and Lynch,
Can't
Army
remember
of
much.
Two. Nah, Army of Two is actually a pretty fun um,
It's
co-op game.
fun Gears of War clone.
Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah.
With an iconic duo.
You could say Mario and Luigi, I guess.
What game are
And
they co-op in?
Super Mario Brothers. I
Are you
one of
just talking
the
about like an iconic duo in general? That's not necessarily
no, no,
co-op. Co-op.
no, trying to talk about a specific game, but,
Okay.
I mean, I feel like 3D World, that's a good co-op game.
Yeah. I thought you were talking about Bowser's Fury. Yeah, 3D World is great. Yeah, that's a great game to play,
Mhm.
co-op, especially if you've got, 3 or 4 people. I mean, even 1 and 2 is or even 2 is a lot of fun. Um,
Yeah. I don't know, what you got?
I mean, I think we've kinda nailed it.
We did a perfect job.
Yeah, we did an absolutely perfect job. I mean, Borderlands is, like, obviously a staple, I think. I mean, that first one was just so good. And then after that, it just kinda got stale for me, but, yeah, that game is great.
I think
Uh
mechanically, Borderlands 2 is better,
oh, yeah, of
but
course.
I my fonder memories of, Borderlands 1.
Yeah, and I think there's just something about playing co-op, like couch co-op, to me, is, like, where it really shines in general for co-op. Because I mean, I played all the Gears, like Gears 1, 2, 3, like, I played all those co-op, like Resident Evil 5, as much as people
I
don't
was
like
about to
Resident Evil
say,
5, great game co-op. It's not so great with just the Shiva AI, but, um, yeah, great game co-op with a friend. I mean, that game is awesome co-op wise. I think 6 was co-op, but I never did try that. I think I bought 6 and then traded it in, like, 2 weeks later. Like, I did not like that game at all. Um,
Luigi's Mansion 3?
oh, yes, that was I did play that one with my wife as well. That game is excellent co-op. Um, yeah, that game is great. That's a good answer. Um, trying to think of anything else. I think we might have I'm not sure there's stuff we're missing, but I think we've nailed it for the most part.
Yeah, those are all really good co-op games.
Yeah. Cool. Alright, let's jump into the news here. Sony just announced an Astrobot controller for the PS5 to come out with the new Astrobot game. It looks sick, man.
Looks really
It
cool.
looks yeah, it looks really, really cool. Um, Probably gonna pass on it, but it looks cool.
I don't know, I only have 1 DualSense controller,
Oh, well, there you go.
so
See, I've got my 2. Um,
yeah, so I might pick this up. I might get this one. This is one of the cooler, like, special controllers that they've done.
yeah, I thought it was funny because I saw someone comment on Twitter about it. It was like, Xbox and PlayStation are putting all their budget into controllers instead of good games.
Seriously, though. They really are, like, it's all R&D for, controllers and
And they've
marketing the
been
controllers.
they put out some cool ones. Here's a picture of it. Yeah, it looks really cool. Like,
That's pretty sick.
yeah, it's
Not
simple,
gonna lie.
but it looks awesome. But I
Yeah,
don't know. I might is it $80? Like, is it the normal price?
yeah, I think so.
Like, if it was like $80 and came with a game too, like that would be sick, but I highly doubt that.
Even if it was like 100 bucks with the game, that'd be a
Yeah.
good bundle.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah.
Are you gonna pick up Astrobot?
I think I will. I think I'll probably pick it up.
You should play through
I know, I
the
need
pack
yeah,
ending.
that's probably a good idea to play through that while there's not a lot of
It's
stuff to
very
play at the
short.
moment. Yeah. I mean, I think, like, an hour or so into it. So, yeah, it was really cool.
Mhm.
I enjoyed what I played. Nice, history lesson, I guess, for PlayStation.
Oh, yeah.
Um, and then next up, we have, Bethesda has trademarked the term, Starborn, um, from Starfield, and we don't really know why, other than maybe it's a reference to a new expansion, after Shattered Space or some sort of DLC or something like that. Um, or maybe they're just trademarking the term Starborn and going to use it for Starfield 2 or whatever else they do with Starfield.
Isn't Starborn what your character is?
Yeah, that's what your character is. Any
Okay, okay.
character that's gone
Through the
through the campaign. Like, I'm not going to spoil anything for those who haven't played it, but yeah, once you beat the
could
campaign, you become Starborn
I mean, couldn't that
potentially.
just be why they're, why they're trademarking it because, it's just like a proprietary name that they've already used in their software? Are
It
people are saying
absolutely,
that
yeah, it absolutely could be. I mean, it could just be that, they wanna lock it down for future games or whatever, or maybe, the next expansion is called, like, Starborn something, whatever. It could
okay,
it could
it
be
could be the
yeah, it
name
could
of
be anything. They haven't announced anything, obviously, but that's what people whenever something happens and there's a patent, anything, trademark, it's always gotta be
I
because
mean,
something
it
else
normally
is coming.
means something, but
Yeah.
might
Or
not
it might
ever
not mean
come
anything. I
to
mean, a lot of
life.
companies do patents and they do trademarks for stuff that doesn't even exist, and they just maybe thought about doing and will never come to fruition, but they just wanna lock it
Yeah,
in,
get ahead of
lock
it.
it down because, yeah, get ahead of it. Um, are you excited for Shattered Space? Just talking about that? Or are you just
Not
kind of
super
like, "Eh?"
excited. I'll probably check it out, but yeah, I'm not extremely excited. I really don't know what it's gonna be, and if it's more like random generated
Well, see, that's
worlds
the
to
thing
explore.
is they're not. All the worlds that are gonna be in this are, like, handcrafted worlds.
Oh, well then I'm more excited now.
So,
It's simple as that.
yeah. So, yeah, it's gonna be I mean,
That's
it's
cool.
obviously a lot smaller, but, yeah, it's gonna be
That's totally
all, like
fine.
yeah,
We don't we didn't need 99.99% of the landmass that was in the worlds that we went to anyways.
yeah, and I don't know if they're gonna do it, but, hopefully there's some fun dogfighting and some actual space combat and traversal in space that isn't just flying around a JPEG, like, that's all I want from Starfield is just, like, good combat, like, good flying combat.
Yeah. I just remember getting so disoriented
Yeah, it really
flying
was.
around because you
Again,
felt like
I
you
want a
weren't moving.
spacewalk. I want a space like, that was, like, my big thing, was coming across, like, shooting down a ship, and then, obviously, it's torn apart, like, and then getting out and spacewalking onto the ship, and then finding stuff. Like, that would be so cool, but
But
they
hear me
didn't.
out. You shoot the ship and then you go to a loading screen, and
That
then you're
sounds
on the
so
ship.
good. That sounds so good. God, that
Dude,
sounds good.
that sounds so good, man.
Yeah, I'm optimistic about it. Hopefully it's really good. Um, I'm definitely curious. I'm not gonna write it off just yet, but, as someone who wasn't a huge I liked I technically beat the game, like, 4 or 5 times, so I enjoyed it, but I just kinda the same thing as Cyberpunk, like, I'm just not a and I've talked about this before, I'm just not a big first person sci-fi guy.
Oh, I mean, you can do third person though.
Yeah, but it looks so dumb. Like, it just looks so
It
silly.
does play better now. Did you ever check it out after the May update?
Um, I did, yeah, I did check it out.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah, I played around with, like,
Like the
yeah,
multipliers and
yeah, yeah.
yeah, gotcha.
Um, Froggy T, right, yes, how many 360 games did you guys pick up? I can't even count, and I wish I still had all my games, but that was back in the day with
I think he is
trading in
talking about
GameStop.
before the store shut down.
Oh, before none.
Yeah, none.
Everything that came out on the 360 I had a 360 since day 1, since it came out, so I got everything that, that I wanted and everything that I have, like, I've kept everything that I wanted to keep over the years, I still have. Um, like, what about you? Do you feel I mean, I know there's a big deal with, like, preservation and stuff like that, but I feel like if I want to go get a 360 game, I can go to any,
You
like,
can do that.
local store, and I think most of the bigger ones are probably gonna be backwards compatible, and I've still got my 360, so there's anything I wanna play, I feel like I'm not gonna be unable to purchase it. Yeah, some there might be insanely expensive, but just something out on the top of my head, I can't think that I want.
Yeah, and my thing is, like, if I haven't picked it up by
Makes
now,
sense.
if I haven't thought about it, I'm probably not gonna think about it, probably not gonna want to purchase it, so I don't wanna, like, scramble and buy something. I didn't buy anything on the 3DS when that eShop
Same here.
closed or the Wii
Yeah.
U, just because, yeah, I never felt that urge before they closed. right before it was announced that they were gonna close and, I don't know, just didn't wanna panic about it, but
Yeah,
I totally see the point of preservation and, wanting access to those games and,
yeah.
um,
And Froggy,
yeah.
that makes sense for those digital only games. That makes total
Oh,
sense.
yeah, I mean, yeah,
Um,
like games like Explosion Man, I don't know if those are
yeah,
still available on.
yeah. And I bought all those, so like I can re-download them on the new Xbox. So I'm
Yeah,
not
the
necessarily worried
mall.
about Explosion Man. Also a great co-op game.
Yeah,
One of
that's
the
a good
best
one.
in my opinion. I never did play through Miss Explosion Man. I should do that at some point. Yeah, yeah. You are right, Froggy. The prices of 360 games are going up a lot. Yeah, I mean, at some point they'll probably come down. I'd imagine, but like I said, I feel like I've got everything that I want at the moment. I'm sure there's probably something I'm missing. Like I've always kind of want to go back and buy the King Kong 360 game, like the one based off of the movie.
Yeah.
Really good game. I don't know what the price is for that, but that game is a lot of fun.
Peter
Um,
Jackson's King Kong, the movie, the game.
The movie, the game, yeah. That was a really fun game. Probably one of the better, movie tie-in games. But I guess since we're talking about it, let's talk about our final news topic, is the store is shut down. It's either already shut down by the time you're hearing this, or it's, like, tonight.
I think
So,
it's already done.
it's already shut down completely, okay.
Yeah.
Um, so yeah, that being said, Nick, I still think the 360 generation is probably my favorite generation ever. Um Just because there were so many new IPs
Mhm.
that were created, and they were all extremely high quality, and they were all, I felt like, pretty original. Um,
Oh, yeah.
so Nick, what are some of your favorite 360 games?
One game that I remember playing a ton of is Trials
Oh,
on the
yes.
360. I can't remember if it's Evolution or one of the ones before it, but that game was just incredible. I mean, kind of scratches like the speed running itch
Yeah,
and like the leaderboard stuff, shooting for your best time, trying to get
one more
gold or
try.
platinum
Just
or
one more
whatever it
try.
was. Yeah, just one more try.
That's a great
I
one.
remember staying up so late playing Trials, just trying to get the like, the highest ranking you can get. So that's a good one.
That they need to have they not remastered that original one? Or the one on 360? I don't know if it was an original game, but the one on the 360?
I don't think they
Because I think it
have.
was Trials HD, right, is what it was called?
Yeah, yeah, Trials
'Cause
HD.
then there was, like, Trials Fusion and some other stuff where it just didn't hit the
Didn't
same.
didn't
We
didn't
need
do it.
Trials to come back. That was a
Trials
great game.
Rising was 2019. That one was the last release. I
Okay,
played that one. It was
okay.
good, but it wasn't
Just wasn't the same.
wasn't the same.
I cannot believe that hasn't been remastered.
Yeah.
Is it really not been remastered? Trials HD remaster?
No. I
Nope.
mean, I think
Oh,
it's
wait. No, that was back in 2013.
I think it
Yeah.
only sold around
Wow.
1.5 million
It's a
units. Oh, no,
shame.
2 million units. So it's not super successful, but
Yeah, I would say because I think that was part of the summer arcade lineup, right? Was Trials?
yeah.
Yeah, I think the 360. I mean, I know like this, like what they do now with the indie games with Xbox does is really good, and really like all the platforms do a really good job with the indie releases. But
Mhm.
that summer of arcade was such a good
It's pretty
time where they would
awesome.
highlight 3 to 5 games throughout like the summer, like throughout either July or August or something like that. But stuff like the Mall was so fun. Explosion Man, Mrs. Explosion Man, um, Trials HD. Uh, there's some other stuff that I'm missing. Stuff like
Braid,
Braid, yeah, that just got a remaster. Um,
Bastion was one of them.
Bastion was a
Limbo.
yep. So yeah, that was probably my favorite. Like again, the 360 I just thought was such a great such a great generation.
And it was a start. Like the 360 had full trilogies on it. I mean, it had
Yeah,
BioShock, it had Mass Effect,
Mass
Dead
Effect,
Space. Like
what else?
this was a time when games had a
Gears, Halo,
2-year
Halo
turnaround.
2. Yeah. Yeah, we didn't have to wait too long for games
I mean, Rock
to come
Band that
out.
had
Rock
three
Band
or
was
4
great.
games.
Yeah, Rock Band was a good time.
Yeah.
And just that original I know it like I know just the original Blades too, like, the menu was, like, so so iconic, I think, such nostalgia, like, even to like, they even put out a wallpaper on the Xbox Series X for, like, the original Blades, um,
Oh, yeah, you're talking yeah, yeah, yeah,
the
the
menu
menu.
system,
Yeah.
yeah, um,
Yeah, that's
yeah,
cool.
yeah, I mean, just yeah, a lot of great games, like Oblivion, like, Elder Scrolls Oblivion was so fun playing through that, so janky, but so
Oh my
fun,
god, so janky.
again, we talked about Gears earlier, like, you know, when that game first came out, that was incredible, um Activision is bringing back did Activision own Rock Band?
It was
Well, no,
Harmonix.
uh, Epic Games owns Rock Band now, 'cause it's in Fortnite. Fortnite Festival now. Yeah, Epic
Rock
Games
Band
bought
is?
Harmonix. Yeah, yeah, it's in, Fortnite now.
Hmm.
But yeah, Guitar
Hopefully
Hero
they bring
maybe.
back Rock Band. Yeah.
Um, yeah, Guitar Hero, like, that would be really cool. I don't think I need, like, a full on. Yeah, it was Guitar Hero, Froggy is what, Activision owns. They owned, Neversoft, and then I don't know if Neversoft is still around, but they own the IP to Guitar Hero. They tried with Guitar Hero Live a few years ago when Rock Band 4 came out, um, and I don't know, I never played
I
Live, but I
I
don't think
picked
it.
it up.
Did
It
you?
wasn't
Okay.
it just wasn't as good.
Yeah.
Wait,
Yeah,
Rock Band
there's something.
5 Rock Band 5 was announced. It should be coming in 2027. It's being
Oh.
made by Harmonix Music Studios with the help of Rockstar Games,
Oh, okay.
and
That could be
Spotify served as the music license director. Oh,
interesting.
so it's okay, it's in development.
Okay. Well, that's cool. Well, yeah, hopefully they bring back Guitar Hero. I mean, that was the cool thing about Guitar Hero is, like, it was just the guitar, right? It wasn't all the other instruments, which I mean, I loved Rock Band, but at some point I was like, "Man,
Mhm.
just having all this stuff is a little much."
It was a lot of, like yeah,
Like I still
a lot
have
of
the
plastic
keyboard, like I
equipment.
have I have the drum, like I still have it all. Um, but yeah, there's something cool about Guitar Hero and just those and Guitar Hero 2, like on the 360 was so fun to play, and then
Yeah, that's
eventually
one of the
jumping
best.
into Rock Band like the next year. Um, but yeah, there's just a lot of stuff that came out on the 360 that was really good. Even some of the like I called Flintlock, like it felt like an old school 360 game. There was a lot of like fun third person games that came out. Um, I'm trying to think of the name of a couple of what's the one game
Oh,
with like
like,
the glaive? It was like a glaive weapon you used. Xbox 360. Man, I am trying to.
Darksiders.
No, Dark Stars. The first one was really good. Dark Sector was the game that came out on 360.
Dark Sector.
You use like a glaive. And when you threw it, it went into slow motion. You could kind of control it, and like you could chop
Oh,
limbs
I
off and
remember
stuff.
that. Yeah.
That game was not great, but it was a lot of fun. Um, then obviously the Call of Duties were fun back in the day. Even stuff like World of War with zombies was a lot of fun. Yeah,
Oh,
just a
yeah.
lot of great franchises started on the 360 that we still get to this day. Same with PlayStation. All that stuff came to PlayStation, but the 360 was the first one to get like BioShock and a lot of those games, and they would get ported over to PlayStation after a year or
Mhm.
so. But
The
yeah,
orange
any
box.
other highlights?
Okay.
Yeah, the orange box, man, that was great.
I mean, yeah, the Batman Arkham series, I don't know if you mentioned that one.
I have not, but yeah, that was great. But
Dang, a
you have
lot
not
of good
played the
franchises.
first one, right? Have you played the first one,
No, I haven't.
Batman?
I did start it earlier this
Okay,
year.
okay. What's going on, Trickster? Welcome in.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, just a lot of like Dead Space, like Dead Space, the whole trilogy, panned out on the 360. But obviously, I mean, we can't talk about the 360 without talking about the Red Ring. I mean, that was
I
disastrous,
mean,
of
you
course.
were struck with that like 3 times, 3 or 4 times, right?
Yeah, because I bought Crackdown specifically to get the Halo 3 beta, and Crackdown turned out to be great. Um, that first one, I didn't play a ton of the second one, and I didn't even touch 3, but bought it for the beta. And in fact, do I still have that game? I might not have Crackdown anymore.
Crackdown.
No, I don't. I don't think I have it anymore. Anyways, but yeah, got it for the beta, and then I think I played like maybe a day of the Halo 3 beta, and then it red ringed. And we did the whole towel trick, and it would work for like an hour, and then it would be busting
Yep.
again. Yeah, that was just devastating. Trickster, if you're talking about the Southport game that came the RPG one, the Fractured But Whole, yeah, that game was great from Obsidian.
Or is
That
it
was an
Stick of
awesome game.
Truth?
Oh no, yeah, you're right. The Stick of Truth. Yeah, that one was good. I never played the Fractured But Whole. I think they changed the combat system a little bit when I tried
They
the
did,
demo, and
'cause
I
I think I
didn't.
picked that one up and it was like grid based instead of
Yeah, instead
turn
of a
based.
yeah, the Stick of Truth is excellent. That game is great. Oh, the Tower Defense, Southport. I think I know what you're talking about. Um, I don't know if I actually played that one a lot, but I think I know which one you're talking about. Um, and then also just like the weird, like at some point, like every game needed to have like a tie-in multiplayer of it needed a multiplayer version of the game. But there was some cool stuff like the Dead Space 2 multiplayer was fun for like a little bit of a time. Like the BioShock 2 multiplayer was actually really good.
Yeah,
That
that
was
one was
excellent.
good.
I definitely that was probably the out of all the tacked on multiplayer games, that was probably the one I put the most time into. That was actually
Mhm.
quite good.
It's so funny because that was even before microtransactions, so they were just adding in multiplayer to have it in the game. Like, it wasn't even to sell you
Well,
any
they
add-ons, right?
it was interesting because they were trying to counteract trading in games. So when you bought a game, specifically EA, I don't know if I think other studios did this, but specifically EA, if you bought their game, there would be a one-time code that you would that would come in the box. You would type that in, and it only tied to your account to allow you to access multiplayer. So if you then
Mhm.
traded in that game and someone else bought that copy, they would pay whatever price they paid. But then if they wanted to access multiplayer, I think they had to pay like $5 or $10 to do it.
Really? I didn't know
Yeah.
about that.
Yeah, it was a way to try to, and I get it, but like it's also like, come on. Like it's
Sounds like EA would have spearheaded that
yep, yep, exactly. So they did that for quite a while, and then they finally stopped doing that because that just
'cause it was
sucks.
stupid. Yeah.
But
I didn't even mention the Escape franchise.
I was gonna say Skate, yeah.
Yeah, Escape 1, 2, and 3, but all came out on the 360 within span of, like, 4 or 5 years.
Yeah, Froggy, that was definitely a weird time. Company were just experimenting with everything. I mean, like Nick said a couple seconds ago with the microtransactions, I mean, we got the horse armor with Oblivion, that was like I think $5 in Microsoft points before they converted over to just regular currency. Um, yeah, a lot of these studios were just trying to figure out ways to make additional money and to combat trading in games and some
Mhm.
stuff, whatever. Like, I mean, we were just talking about paying $20 for a skin in Fortnite, so like paying $5 for, a piece of a skin in Oblivion is not it's not egregious in my opinion. We always look like negatively on that point in time, but here we are now spending
I mean, when you think about inflation, it's
yeah.
about the same price.
Well, maybe. But I think I was just more excited of, like, the first time because I didn't really keep up with news back then, so I think I just went to additional content or something when I was just scrolling to the store and it said Oblivion horse armor, so I was like, "What is this?" And then I picked it up, and then I went into the game, and it was literally just some golden armor, and I'm like, "Alright, that's cool." Yeah, I guess.
Interesting.
Interesting. Yeah, 360 was a good time. Skate was
Yeah.
cool. Tony Hawk had some pretty fun games, like
And American Wasteland.
American Wasteland was good.
Project 8 was pretty cool.
Project A, yeah, Project A was really good. That was like when they
Yeah.
started, I think, first kind of trying to copy the Skate
Yeah, they,
with
like,
like
had, like, the slow motion.
yeah, that was cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then was the Xbox One generation, and was that when, like, was that when they did Tony Hawk Ride?
Well, Tony Hawk Ride was on the Wii, wasn't it? Or no, it was Downhill Jam.
That was Downhill Jam. Another great game.
Yeah. Was Ride
But
on the Xbox
Ride,
One? Was that a Kinect game?
no, it had its own peripheral.
Oh, that's right. Okay. Yeah, Tony Hawk took a
It was
weird turn after a while.
2009. Okay, so it was, yeah, it was
That was
360.
360. Oh, okay. I forgot about
Interesting.
Ride. Yeah, that was an interesting game. Well, any other games you wanna highlight, chat? Anything else you guys wanna highlight? Let us know if we missed anything. I'm sure there's a lot of stuff we missed, but
Oh, yeah.
just trying to think of like kind of the peak 360 stuff.
Snacks has been digging on the rug for the past 3 minutes.
Just trying to look at some of the games. Like I mean, like Assassin's Creed was another great franchise that started on that generation.
Yeah.
Um, Grand Theft Auto 4. I think that was the first Grand Theft Auto that I really got into. That was a great game. I actually still have Actually, I had GTA on the 360 or GTA 5 on the 360. It's funny.
I think I did too at one point. Man, holy shit, that game came out on the 360?
Yeah, GTA. Yeah, and then it came out on the
Jesus Christ.
yeah, and then it came out on Xbox One, and
See,
then they
Rockstar
finally did like
sucks.
I mean, geez, it's been over 10 years since that game came out. It's crazy.
2013. 11 years.
Oh, are you talking about? Was it the second game that was? Probably that was the second one, right? The Rise of the Tomb Raider that was exclusive to 360 for a while.
I thought that was Xbox One.
Was that Xbox One?
Yeah, I think so.
Okay, maybe yeah. I think you're right. But what about the first the first new Tomb Raider? That was both 360 and PS3, wasn't it? Yeah, it's hard to remember
Yeah,
this
it
stuff
was.
for sure.
Yeah, that was 360. And
Okay.
yeah.
And then I think Rise came out on the Xbox One and it was exclusive, right?
Yeah, that
For a little
one
bit.
that one
I
was
know it
exclusive.
eventually came out on PlayStation eventually, but
Rise was really good.
Rise was probably the best one out of I
Mhm.
played Shadow the Tomb Raider and it was not made by Crystal Dynamics, but it was solid.
It was still
Wasn't
good, but it
it
wasn't.
was still good.
Yep.
It was kind of like the Arkham the Batman game that was released on the 360 that wasn't
Mhm.
done by I should get it right here. Arkham Origins. It was
Also,
made by
sorry.
WB Montreal.
Yeah.
It
And
was on
sorry,
2
Rise
discs.
did come to 360 as well. It came out in 2015. It released on the 360 simultaneously.
Oh, okay. Okay,
Hmm.
cool. But it was exclusive though, right? To the 360 and Xbox.
No. Oh,
It
yeah,
wasn't?
sorry. It was. It was.
Okay. Yeah, it was exclusive for a little bit. Yeah,
Yeah.
that was weird because that was like one of those iconic PlayStation franchises, and then all of a sudden it's an Xbox exclusive. And the same thing with like Final Fantasy. Like Final Fantasy finally started to come to 360 and Xbox for being a
Mhm.
PlayStation exclusive for so long. So that was really cool. Yeah, just some weird times. And now it's like, Xbox games are coming onto PlayStation. Like none of that shit matters anymore.
No.
Remember Me on the 360? I don't think I did, but I played so many 360 games. Maybe I did. I'm not sure. Let me Google it and see if that
Remember Me.
Remember Me, Xbox 360.
Oh, it's by Don't Nod?
I was gonna say it sounds like maybe one of those. Um,
Huh.
Remember Me.
Oh, it's like a third person action game.
Oh, is it? Okay.
Hmm.
I don't think
Man, I feel like
that was made by Capcom or published by Capcom.
yeah, I feel like there were so many
Interesting.
games like this in this era.
I was gonna say there's a lot of like third person shooters or something with like a psychic ability or
Mhm.
something in third person. There were so many games like that that are cool.
Yeah.
Okay, that's yeah, that's another game I never played. Detroit Become Human. Um, that was made by what was that game where like the guy is like in the mall and loses his kid and he's like yelling Jason. It's like press X to Jason or something.
Oh, is that Beyond Two Souls?
I think that's the same developer, but it was an earlier game. I can't remember what it was called. That one came out on PS3.
Heavy Rain?
Heavy Rain, yes, yes. But but it's like all I think all the characters had like an accent or something, so it was like Jason, Jason. All right, well, I think we've covered a lot of really great 360 games and franchises and some
Yeah.
of our kind of favorite memories. I mean, that's really like for me when the midnight launches like came into
That's when they're
fruition.
the best, right? Yeah.
Yeah, that's when they were the best with like Halo 3 and Gears, and other stuff like that. So I don't really do that much anymore. Just that's kind of the I know they still have them. I guess I'm not really sure. The last one I went to was the Switch when the Switch 2 came, or when the Switch came out in 2017. So,
I think my last was Smash Brothers on the 3DS.
oh wow, okay,
Yeah.
that's cool. A lot of people there,
No.
and that's the bummer. Is like you go and there's like two people online. You're like, damn.
I can't remember if that game launched. I don't think it launched with the new 3DS. I might have done the midnight launch for that one as well. But
Okay,
that one had Majora's Mask launching with it.
yeah, and we also did the DSi one for you as well.
Oh yeah.
That was fun.
Me and my little DS iterations that I had to get.
Yeah. Hey, I mean DSi, they're all cool. It's all cool stuff.
They really are.
Um, yeah, I think the Switch launch party. I think I went to Best Buy. There was probably like 60 people online. It was a good amount.
Mhm.
That was a lot of fun. All right, guys. Well, yeah, let us know what your favorite co-op games are and your favorite Xbox 360 games are, or just whatever you want to talk about. You can message the show directly from your phone. There's a link in the description. You can literally just text the show and ask any questions you guys have. Um, you guys can, if you can, review us on your favorite podcasting platform of choice. That is greatly appreciated. We appreciate everyone that's been watching live in the chat, talking with us. It's been a lot of fun. Um, and definitely to our audio listeners as well. We appreciate you guys. Nick, final thoughts before we get on out of here.
Man, hope everyone has a wonderful week. Get those high scores or low
Yes.
scores in NES World Championship. If anyone can beat 2.65 in the first challenge, let me know.
Of Metro. Oh, wait, no, of the Mario one, right?
It's the
Or the
it's the
newest one.
Mario one. Yeah, get the mushroom.
2.65, you said?
2.65.
Is that S rank tier?
Yeah,
Okay.
I think S rank was around 2.8.
Okay. Yeah, because
But
I think I'm at 2.98, and I think it was like A plus plus. So I knew there was some
there's some work to be done.
there's some work to be done. So I'll definitely continue on. Yeah, it's a cool game. All right, guys. Well, we will see you next week. Bye bye.
Bye-bye.
Thank y'all so much for watching this video. I really appreciate it. Consider subscribing to the channel. I'll let YouTube algorithm pick one of my videos below for you guys to watch. Give it a click, and I hope you enjoy. And I will see you in the next video.